Save Nigerian group. So we are having a group of elites that is looking like they can't even come together. That was why in the last 4 years of this administration, the political opposition towards this governance was very weak. I expect that even as People's Democratic Party are battling hard to go into election right now to get their candidate, they should be still hitting hard, especially on what is happening in the economy.
But isn't that an indication of growth, of understanding the system, especially the democratic system, knowing fully well that before 1999, we had never had a long stretch at practicing democracy? Isn't it just a reflection of the fact that, okay, so people are now getting to understand the intrigues of democracy, and parties actually are good, so to speak, in their own way? I'm sure if time permits, we'll come to issues, especially with the election and post-election. You would remember that from last year, from 2022, Nigerians became excited. I think the 2022 year welcomed us around this time last year with the passage of the Electoral Act.
In this situation, look at the kind of comment the Rec of Lagos just said some days ago. I mean, as far as INEC is the regulator, unbiased, we call them to bring out and make statements. It's just like what happened just some few hours ago. Is it today when a tweet somebody just tweeted? A click from the INEC on a comment that was made on the candidate of Labour Party, and right now INEC is looking who is the person who did it and the rest. If that can happen from within INEC, and you know the implication of that, why should a regulator have somebody post-election is what we're concerned about. If this particular candidate wins, this manager win. The current economic situation in the country, we've still not dealt with it. Nigerians need to be united, and the first thing that we need to do, or anybody needs to come, both from the office of the citizens, which is all of us, those of you in the media, some of us with our initiative and our interventions that we do daily, and we call on the politicians. The issue of making Nigeria one is a business we must do, and making the nation what it's supposed to be. Nigeria is at a crossroad that it has never ever, not even 1993 when we saw how it was coming, or 1999. This particular crossroad is the most different of all, and we call people to live the ethos of our national pledge. When you look at the ethos of our national pledge, you say to defend our unity and uphold our honor and glory. And we say, so help me God. So I think we take God to help us.
All right, that's a good way to end the conversation. Thank you so much for being on the program today. All right, I have been speaking with Tochukwu Ifemene, public policy analyst.
Local stories. Flying Eagles head coach Issa Ladan Boso believes he has the men to push Uganda's Hippos off the way in their Africa Under-20 Cup of Nations quarter-final duel on Thursday and reach the FIFA Under-20 World Cup finals scheduled for Indonesia on the 20th of May to the 11th of June. Of course, now both teams clash at the 22,000 capacity Suez Canal Authority Stadium in Ismaila as from 7 p.m. Egypt time, 6 p.m. Nigerian time on Thursday. And the Flying Eagles tactician says that while he does not underrate the Hippos, he trusts his charges to make Nigeria proud and reach the tournament's last four. And still sticking with the Flying Eagles, some good news for defender Solomon Abalaka. He has been included in the CAF Best 11 of the 2023 Africa Under-20 Cup of Nations group stage. Now, the honor was bestowed upon Abalaka following his exciting performance for Nigeria in the tournament. Now, Abalaka was featured on the list alongside Landin Baji, Senegal, Alaji Saine, the Gambia, Torach Ochaki, Uganda, Abdul Rachid, Benin Republic, of course, Papa Diallo, Senegal, Mamadou Kamara, Senegal, Prince Suso, Congo, Rogers Mugisha, Uganda, and Deogracias Businga, Congo, with Abdulli Bojang, the Gambia, selected as the coach. And that's it for the local stories. We trade places with the foreign scenes in the next few. Stay there. Welcome back to the show. Some foreign stories now. We begin with Manchester City. Some FA Cup action yesterday. They found themselves on the receiving ends of impressive results. Of course, Manchester City saw off plucky Bristol City to reach the quarterfinals of the FA Cup with a 3-0 victory at Ashton Gate. Now, Phil Foden scored twice and Kevin De Bruyne added late gloss as the 6-time FA Cup winners ended Bristol City's unbeaten 12-game run. Pretty impressive before a capacity crowd in the West Country. Now, after the work rate, his quality as well put him right up there with the very best. Now, his career was always up according to Guardiola. This season he struggled a bit and was a bit down, but now he's back for the best beat of the season. Guardiola was also complimentary about his championship opponents and their fans, adding it was really tough. Bristol showed some good quality as well, said the best they could. Played the best they could rather, and said he was impressed by some players. He didn't know them according to him, but he said the second half was a lot better from his side. And Brendan Rodgers speaking after Leicester City in a contrasting result. They were dumped out by Blackburn, and according to him, if there's anyone to blame, it's me. He's taking full responsibility for that one. He said he made the changes and sadly it didn't work. Rodgers also revealed Yuri Tillemans is set to be sidelined for 6 weeks with ligament damage. And Trace Dolan and Sammy Smodics capitalized on an awful defending to earn Blackburn a 2-1 win as they reached a first FA Cup quarter-final for 8 years. Brendan Rodgers admits it's a worrying sign for Leicester that championship side Blackburn were a lot better than his team in their shock 2-1 FA Cup defeat. Kelechi Iheanacho grabbed some consolation goal in the second half, but the error-prone Foxes got what they deserved against the championship side. And Ivan Toney's case is now back in the hands of FA after he admitted breaching betting rules. As first reported, Toney has pleaded guilty to many of the 262 charges issued by the FA last year, but denied others. Now, the 26-year-old had originally been charged over 232 alleged breaches of betting rules in November, with the charges occurring between February 2017 and January 2021. Now, the following month, Toney was charged with a further 30 alleged breaches of FA betting rules, and the FA will now go through his responses before issuing a hearing date. Now, it will be then down to an independent regulatory commission to reach a verdict and issue a subsequent punishment. Now, the commission will decide whether to dismiss or uphold the charges denied by Toney based on the evidence. They will then take a cumulative look at all the offences before deciding this punishment, and it's also reported and anticipated that Toney could be banned for at least 6 months, and it is Brentford's interest that Toney be banned as soon as possible so that they can return without missing too much of next season. Now, any ban will fourth place Tottenham with just 2 games in hand. A Manchester United's takeover still an uncertainty. Now, Avram Glazer's presence at Wembley and potential for future growth revenue has been underestimated. Now, this is even factoring in the club's net debt of £656 million and transfer fees owed and the enormous cost of enhancing the infrastructure. It'll be interesting to see where this heads. United fans still calling for the Glazer family to step down. They're a little bit reluctant. It'll be interesting. Like I said, we'll keep our eyes on the story and keep you posted on any developments. And over to France, Paris Saint-Germain president Nasser El-Khelaifi has vehemently denied bombshell allegations that he was involved in the kidnap and torture of a businessman in Qatar who held compromising information about the 2022 World Cup bid. Pretty interesting stuff from there. He's come out to refute all of the rumors and allegations. We'll see where this goes as well. Eyes on it. We'll keep you posted. And that's it with some foreign stories. In a bit, we'll head over to the transfer market and see what clubs are eyeing, or what players clubs are eyeing, and what clubs players are eyeing as well. Up next, transfer news.
State. We will resist voter intimidation, Rose Viva says ahead of Lagos gubernatorial election. Outrage as video of train and BRT collision victims emerge. In Ukraine, Russia kills civilians in new huge missile wave. And in sports, Neymar ruled out for the rest of the season.
This is Alive TV.
And now the news in detail. There was unrest in Bauchi State yesterday after thugs from a political party reportedly attacked members of the opposition party and innocent citizens. Investigations reveal one person was killed while at least 15 others were injured during the incident, which happened in Duguri, a town in the Alkaleri local government area of the state. The chaos allegedly started after the governorship candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Air Marshal Sadiq Baba Abubakar, visited the area for a rush hour campaign. Reacting, the Bauchi State chapter of the People's Democratic Party Director General Farouk Mustafa alleged that APC thugs invaded Duguri on Wednesday and attacked its members. The governorship candidate of the Labour Party in Lagos State, Gbadebo Rhodes Viva, has said the party would resist any form of voter intimidation and harassment in the forthcoming March 18th elections. Rhodes Viva asserted that his focus is the security and safety of Lagosians that would come out en masse and vote for their preferred candidate. Speaking on the postponement of the governorship elections, Rhodes Viva said the rescheduling of the polls has not dampened his momentum and determination to become the next governor of Lagos State. The issue of the unavailability of adequate medical facilities in the country has again